Good morning and welcome to All Faiths Unitarian Congregation's Sunday service. Today is December 13th and I am the Rev CJ McGregor and I will be leading the service this morning with our message from the Rabbi Bruce Diamond as we celebrate Hanukkah. Here at All Faiths you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and your expansive heart. At All Faiths, we have more than one way of experiencing the world and understanding the sacred. We want you to know that no matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are welcome here. I do have a few announcements this morning. Like I said, that Rabbi Bruce Diamond is with us to deliver a Hanukkah message. Rabbi Diamond is with the Community Free Synagogue here in Fort Myers. He is a longtime friend of All Faiths from the very beginning of All Faiths in 2001, when he offered that we could hold our first monthly services from March through August 2001 in his synagogue. So welcome to Rabbi Bruce Diamond. After the service this morning, there is an 11:30 Zoom coffee hour. So please watch in your email that you should have an address that you can connect to coffee hour. There is a book club Zoom meeting at noon on Monday the 14th. On Tuesday the 15th, we will be having Teaching Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We'll be watching the documentary Brave Blue World and having a discussion after that. There is a racial justice team meeting on Wednesday the 16th at 10 a.m. and our board meeting is at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. And don't forget that on Wednesday evenings you can join our youth and their religious education class at 7 o'clock. Watch for that Zoom address as well. We also have coffee hour on Thursdays at 11:30 in the morning. And this Thursday, the 17th, there will be no homeless team meeting. Okay. So let us sing together hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
In place of our chalice lighting this morning, Marge DeGalbo will be lighting the menorah.
Today is Sunday, the fourth night of Hanukkah, so we will light 4 candles tonight. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu b'had lik ner shel Hanukkah. Praise be thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Please join our singing Go Now in Peace as our children leave to join the youth religious education classes on Zoom with Mary Corrigan.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
When we are gathered, we are able to share our joys and our sorrows with one another, and as we are apart, we can still do that. Please offer your joys and sorrows to me via email or phone call or text, and I'll be sure to share them during the Sunday service. We have a few joys and sorrows this morning. Please keep Robert Bennett in your thoughts. He is recovering in rehab at the moment. Chris Stotler, please keep Chris and his family in your thoughts as his 101-year-old mother recovers in the hospital but is now home recovering. Please keep that family in your hearts. We have some birthdays coming up this week. Happy birthday to Jeff Moran, Carol Seifert, Emily Morse Palmer, Maggie Rollins, and Nancy McGlasson. So happy birthday to you. Please join in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Let us take a few moments to close our eyes, take a deep breath, and turn our hearts and minds to today's service. Let us join in a few moments of silence. As we gather this morning, let us turn our hearts and minds and spirits to the returning light, the promise of light. It is good to be together.
Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age, a hero or sage came to our aid. Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age, a hero or sage came to our aid. Came to our aid. Ah, at this time of year, in days of yore, Maccabee peace the temple did restore. And today our people, as we dream, will arise, unite, and be redeemed. Mi emalel gvurot Yisrael, otan mi yemne, ein bakol dor yakum hajibor goel ham. Mi emalel gvurot Yisrael, otan mi yemne, ein bakol dor yakum hajibor goel ham. Shema bayamim haem basman hazeh Maccabi Moshiach ufodeh uvyameno kol yam Yisrael itakayt yakum lehigael. Who can retell the things that befell us?
Who can retell the things that befell us?
In every age, a hero or sage came to
In every age, a hero or sage came to
Who can retell the things that befell us?
Who can retell the things that befell us?
In every age, a hero or sage came to
In every age, a hero or sage came to our aid.
Our reading this morning is titled Each Candle a Miracle by Amanda Udis Kessler. We light the Hanukkah candles in wonder, in joy, in gratitude, each candle a miracle. When the Holy Temple was rededicated at the time of the Maccabean liberation battle, only 1 day's worth of oil remained. Yet it burned for 8 days, so we light candles in remembrance. We rededicate ourselves to the miracle of light in a season of darkness, to the miracle of trust in a time of anxiety, to the miracle of hope in time of despair, to the miracle of faith in a time of cynicism. We rededicate ourselves to the miracle of wholeness in a time of fracture. Fracture to the miracle of courage in the time of fear. To the miracle of resistance in the time of oppression. To the miracle of peace in a time of violence. And in a time of hatred, we dedicate ourselves to the miracle of love. And so ends the reading. Let us join in singing hymn number 223, Rock of Ages. The words are printed at the bottom of your order of service.
Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were a sheltering tower. Raging they assailed us, but your arm prevailed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. Kindling new the holy lamps, priests unbowed by suffering, purified the nation's shrine, brought to God their offering, and in lands surrounding, hear the joy abounding. Happy throngs singing songs with a mighty sounding.
Bruce Diamond, who has offered to bring us our Hanukkah message this morning.
Like many ancient cultures in the Northern Hemisphere, we Jews celebrate a festival of light around the winter solstice at the darkest times of the year. From the outside looking in, it seems counterintuitive to be so joyous on our winter's longest, darkest nights. And compounding this seeming confusion, at least regarding our Jewish tradition, our very saddest times of the year happen at the heart of the brightest days of summer, during the first 9 days of the month we call Av, culminating in the 9th day of Av, which is observed with 24 hours of fasting and lamentations over the many destructions we've endured before the modern Holocaust. It's as if we're being taught that sometimes joy can be found in the darkness and grief in the brightness. Before the invention of a modern artificial light, light universally was seen as a sign of, a symbol of goodness and knowledge, while darkness became synonymous with ignorance and evil. I suppose this made sense in the olden days when in our darkness all we had were the meager flickering flames of lamps, candles, and hearths. But perhaps we modern should reconsider. Too often the brightness of our new sources of light that we've created wash out so much of the details of what's actually there and can be seen, like the flash of a camera held too close. At its brightest, these new lights can disorient us, as they do flocks of birds. And at their most intense, our new lights can quickly blind us. Astronomers bemoan what they call light pollution. And so they seek out the darkest areas of our world, the darkest peaks, as locations for their observatories. And a majority of humans now live in urban areas where the light is relentless, obscuring the grandeur of creation, which is best experienced in the natural darkness of night. So that most of humanity now lives in and suffers from light pollution. Of course, there's the unnatural lights of our ubiquitous television, computers, and phones and screens with which we surround and mesmerize ourselves. More often than not, they draw us away from what truly can be seen. Now, we all know of those tourists, and perhaps we are some of them, who, when we first encounter something new and spectacular, rush to place a screen between it and themselves or ourselves to snap a picture, because for us, maybe for them, it's not really real until it's displayed by the light of some screen, probably on Facebook. The splendor of creation requires darkness to be fully appreciated and celebrated. The light of creation and primal darkness require each other. One without the other is meaningless. And so we're told in the creation story, when God created the universe, he said, "Let there be light," yehi or. But that light did not destroy the darkness. It coexisted with it. And so it is said, it is evening and there's morning of day one. God separated between the light and darkness, but he did not destroy the darkness. He left it for an important reason. Much in the same way, the darkness of the darkest moments of our lives can bring us the most enlightenment. This only sounds like a paradox on the surface. Deeper thinking shows that it's an essential truth that can become more evident as we go older, and we discover, if we're willing to learn, that we can learn more about ourselves from what we lose than from what we gain. So here we are at Hanukkah, when our tradition commands us to kindle very modest lights for these 8 consecutive nights. These are very small lights. And these lights of Hanukkah are not commanded to us to destroy the darkness or combat it, but rather to simply be seen and exist within it. Our ancient sages were quite explicit when they said this. They said, Hanerot halalu, that means these candle lights, these flames, are sacred. And we have no right or not allowed to use them for mere seeing and illumination. These lights are solely to be appreciated in order to give thanks and praise for all the divine miracles and goodness and salvation. In order to better appreciate creation and be grateful for it. Wouldn't it be better if we moderns switched off, or at least dialed down, some of those garish lights which have come to dominate us in so many ways, and instead allow ourselves to be braced by calming darkness? Much in the same way that closing our outside eyes enables us to see the light within our minds, that same light by which we see in our dreams, that light that can only emerge and perhaps even exist coming from the darkness. Maybe that is why we reserve our most sacred, deepest choice for the darkness that comes at this time of the year. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, Rabbi Diamond. If you are new or have forgotten, I sometimes like to share a joke at the time of the offertory because I believe that laughter makes you generous. And before I share that joke with you, I want to thank all of you for your generosity so that we may do the work of this congregation and live our mission in the community and in the world. And if you're listening to our service from afar, we need your support as well to meet our mission. So please make a donation by mailing it to the address or going on our website. Both are listed at the bottom of this message. So there was a Jewish man and a Jewish woman. They were married, man and wife, and they were cleaning, and the rabbi, the man, found a box, and he asked his wife, "What's in this box?" And she said, "Never mind, don't worry about it, just keep cleaning." And so one day, the wife was away, and the rabbi went back to the box and opened it, and he found 3 eggs and $2,000. $2,000. And so when his wife returned, the rabbi asked her, "What is this? Why is this kept in this box?" And she told the rabbi, "Well, every time you've had a bad sermon, I've put an egg in the box." And he said, "That's not too bad. 3 eggs in 20 years, that's a great record." And he said, "Well, what about the money?" And she said, "Well, every time I collected a dozen eggs in this box, I sold it for $1. You're welcome. The morning offering will now be received.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, I'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are dancing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they will shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom aleichem, Hevenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play.
Let us leave this space that we've all come to virtually with open hearts, open minds, and helping hands. Let us witness the miracle of Hanukkah, of light returning. Blessed be.
Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah hu Hag Tov, Hanukkah hu Hag Tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Hag Simcha Olam, Nes Gadol Hayasham, Nes Gadol Hayasham, Hag Simcha Olam. Sevivon, turn, 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 while the lovely candles burn. What a wondrous holiday! Watch us sing and dance and play. Tell the story full of cheer. A great miracle happened here. It's a festival of lights for 8 days and 8 nights. Sevivon, turn, 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 while the lovely candles burn. What a wondrous holiday! Watch us sing and dance and play. Tell the story full of cheer. A great miracle happened here. It's a festival of lights for 8 days and 8 nights.
I'd like to thank everyone who had a hand in bringing the service to you this morning, Regina Kilmartin and the Sunday Services team, who do a lot of background work to help me and Joseph bring you this service. I'd like to thank Joseph for his beautiful music and voice, and I'd like to thank Marge de Galbo for lighting the menorah for us. I'd also like to thank you for arriving each Sunday and joining us for our service. So thank you. We will not extinguish the menorah that Marge lit for us earlier in the service, but we will read our Chalice Extinguishing words. So please join me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.